Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Roland Sports. I'm Tyler Rowland. We are coming to you from the Ashland Invitational Tournament, and one of the schools that we're excited to have up here is the Carmel School, from coming all the way from Virginia. And with me is Coach Kerry Williams. Coach, talk a little bit about where the school's located and your guys' background.
Yeah, well, the Carmel School is in Ruther Glen, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Caroline County, right outside of Richmond. A lot of our players are from the Richmond area.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a couple of Caroline kids, but we typically get kids from all counties surrounding Caroline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you guys have, because you take a strong, dedicated approach to the game. You have a lot of players on your team looking like Reuben that are primed to play at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about your background, because I remember like when we were talking on the phone, and for instance, you mentioned that big event in New Jersey.
Yep.
Coming up in May. Talk about just the level of what you go to as a coach to help your players.
Yeah, well, it's really all about putting yourself out there. Like being able to be seen, and at Carmel, that's what we try to do. We try to play in events where we're seen by different coaches, different levels, because you never know where a kid will fit in and where he's able to play. So for us, we typically try to look for the most competitive events that we can possibly get into, cross our fingers, and hope to get in there. And we've been very blessed and fortunate at the Carmel School to play in some amazing events. St. Stephen, St. Agnes in Northern Virginia, which is incredible. It's been going on for over 60 years, similar to this Ashland Invitational there on the East Coast. Atlantic Shores tournament, that Mike runs very well down there in Chesapeake. So we move around a lot and we play in a lot of events, but it's primarily just to make sure that these kids get seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and talk about some of your background as a player and coaching. I know you're in your, is it second year?
It's my second year.
Yeah,
second year. I played high school basketball in Richmond for Hermitage High School. Went to Southern Virginia, D3 school out in Buena Vista, Virginia. Played out there after high school. And when I got into coaching, it was primarily with rec league level and travel. So I did coach a few rec league teams. And Tony Squire's basketball is legendary. He's the first AAU founder in Richmond, Virginia in the early 80s. So I started really under Tony Squire, who really taught me the ropes of getting kids seen, getting kids recruited. So that was really a huge base for me. And then since then, I've moved along. I've coached at Meadowbrook High School, public school out there for about 10 years. And then I moved on to the Carmel School. AAU-wise, travel basketball. Currently, I'm with Team Richmond. Dale Harris runs Team Richmond. Dale is a head coach over at the Collegiate School, another outstanding program in Virginia. So, it's really been primarily in Richmond, but fortunately enough, we've been able to branch out and see different levels of basketball, like here in Kentucky, which is awesome.
Yeah, and you're one thing I noted. It seemed like, even though you're coming long distance, sure seems like a lot of people came to support your team. And talk about your community and what you like about
it. Yeah, the support has just been phenomenal. When you have a large group of people really trying to help these young adults get to where they need to get to, you couldn't ask for more. And fortunately for me, I've been put in a situation where the support has just been outstanding. It's been outpouring, and we've been able to get a lot of guys behind these kids. And it's paid dividends. I have 6 seniors. 4 of them have already committed. I have 2 that currently have outstanding offers. So the support that they have gotten has really instilled a confidence in them to really play at the level that they're capable of playing, and it's shown.
Yeah, and those 4, I know you got Reuben that's committed to Marymount.
To Marymount, correct.
The other 3?
Christian Brown, he's committed to Messiah University in Pennsylvania. Lakai Edens is a power forward for us, a lefty, athletic kid. He's committed to St. Mary's College of Maryland. I also have 2 outstanding. I have Dwight Eisler, who has an offer for a school upstate New York that he's thinking about. Another big that comes off the bench for me, Stacy Bird. He has an offer for Goucher and Baltimore's Townsend area, Maryland area. And I'm missing a senior. I'm normally very good with this. Ruben, Christian, Lakai, Aaron Brown. Sorry.
Brown.
Yeah, Aaron Brown, our shooting guard. He's actually just committed to Virginia Wesleyan in the Tidewater area. So yeah, four of those guys, Aaron, Ruben, Lakai, and Christian Brown. Yeah, they're all committed.
That's awesome. And talk about your assistant coaches and your staff and what they bring.
Oh man, it's just been outstanding. We've actually been together for quite some time. When I was coaching over at Meadowbrook, like we discussed earlier, that was my staff at Meadowbrook as well. So we've been together for a while. And they bring a different variety of skill sets to the table. My head assistant, brilliant X's and O's guy, extremely studious of the game, wonderful mentor and leader of men. He's actually a history teacher at the Carmel School as well. So he provides that support both on and off the floor. And then my other assistant, Jarvis Harley, he's been with me since day one. His son is actually a guard on the team. Very, very outstanding coach, extremely motivational, always been there since day one.
And what's your philosophy as a coach to how you approach the game?
Your best play is your next play. It's been my mantra from day one. It's an understanding of, hey, things may not always go the way we want them to go, but as long as we keep a mindset of the next play, the next action, the next shot, the next defensive stop, and that follows you into your regular life, right? The next test, the next day, it's always preparing for the next and not staying too much in the past. So that's really how we play. It's really how we want to instill in these kids a mantra of, regardless of what happens, the next play is going to be even better. So that's really how we play. The best play is the next play.
And Coach, lastly, are there any shout outs you'd like to give?
Shout outs. I'm not a big shout out guy, but absolutely to the Carmel School for allowing us this opportunity to travel around, and not only in state but out state as well, to get these kids the recognition and the support that they need, the notice that they need. So that's the biggest shout out for me. Our head of schools, Matt Johns, is actually here. I don't know if you met him, but he's here in the building, drove with his sons to come support the team. I mean, that's the kind of support that you get from the Carmel School.
That's incredible. Coach, we thank you for your time and wish you all the best. And be sure to stay tuned. We'll also have an interview with Ruben McEachern that will be posted coming up. And we thank you all for watching Roland Sports, where you meet the athletes.